Hi, my name is Jason Organ. Welcome to the Power of Habit seminar. And I am amazed that there are so many of you here right now. Thank you and congratulations for, first off, taking the first step towards becoming a better version of yourself. And that's what's most important here tonight to me, is that you become a better version of yourself after this seminar. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been in the health and fitness industry for 10 plus years, and I've helped thousands of men and women just like you transform their bodies and transform their minds to become the best version of themselves. During that 10-year stint, I actually traveled all over the world working with men and women from all different ethnicities and all different countries, all different nationalities. And time again, one thing has proven true, that anybody in any situation can improve on their current circumstances. Now, I had the pleasure of working on board cruise ships and influencing men and women while they were on vacation to turn that dial and actually make a commitment to their health and fitness while on a vacation. So I know the information that I give you tonight is going to be very, very valuable. So I need you to do one thing for me, and that is to engage, to pay attention, and to have a pen and a piece of paper, because you are going to want to take some notes tonight. I promise you that. Now, my intention with tonight's seminar is not to scare anybody. It's not to make anybody feel bad about themselves. It's not to lower your self-esteem. If anything, it's to raise it up and make you a more confident, a more powerful version of yourself. So I want you to start off tonight by first engaging with me, okay? And I want to ask you a couple of questions. The first question I want to ask you, and because we're centered mainly around weight loss, but you can use this for any part of your life, raise your hand if you've tried to lose weight in the past. Great. Now raise your hand if you've tried to lose weight. You've actually lost the weight. Keep your hand up for me. Awesome. Now, if you have tried to lose weight, you've lost the weight, but then a couple of months later you gained it back, keep your hand up. Okay, now that's probably most people watching this right now. And this is a trend I tend to see a lot of. People tend to lose weight and then gain it all back. They lose weight and they gain it all back. And the information I give you tonight, I promise you, it's so powerful, it's so profound that you are going to be able to make that turn tonight. You're going to be able to turn the dial. You're going to be able to get that aha moment, and you are going to be able to start getting amazing results immediately tonight. Tomorrow morning when you wake up from watching this, you're going to be like, okay, this is what I've got to do. All right, and it's going to be amazing, amazing information this evening. So I want you to write this down for me. This is very, very important that you write this down. My identity forms my habits. If you haven't got a pen and a piece of paper, I'll give you a second. I'll say it one more time. My identity forms my habits. All right, now I want to break the word identity down for you. I want to tell you where it came from. So first off, identity actually came from two Latin words, all right, that were brought together. And it means to embody or to be. The word identity means to embody or to be. So to embody the type of person you want to be. Okay, so let's talk about goals. How many of us, we've all set goals in the past, okay? So everybody here has set some form of goal. We've all hit a goal. Maybe we went backwards like we just spoke about. Now, let's talk about identity. So identity. How many people drink coffee here? Raise your hand if you drink coffee. Engage with me. If you're watching a recording of this, it's okay. Engage still. Okay, perfect. Now, do you drink coffee regular? If you do, would you consider yourself a coffee drinker? Yeah, right? You consider yourself a coffee drinker. I drink coffee every morning, and I consider myself a coffee drinker. That is part of my identity. I also read every day, and I consider myself a reader, even though I wasn't a reader as a young man. I drink water every day. I consider myself a water drinker. Now, if somebody was going to run one marathon, would you consider them a runner? Probably not, right? Because their goal is only to run one marathon. Now, if they ran consistently every day and you knew them as a friend who liked to run, you'd consider them a runner. But somebody who just runs one marathon, they're not really a runner. Their goal is to run a marathon. And this happens with people in weight loss. I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, great. Once you lose 20 pounds, what happens? you tend to get lost because you hit the goal, but you did not make it part of your identity. You didn't embody it. You didn't say, oh, wow, I want to be somebody who loses weight, but makes it part of my lifestyle, eats healthy, and works out regularly, right? It's like if someone was just to drink 1 cup of coffee. Would you consider them a coffee drinker? Probably not, because they're only drinking 1 cup. They're making a commitment only to drink 1 cup. It's like I saw somebody losing 20 pounds. They're only making a commitment to lose 20 pounds, but they're not making a commitment to make it part of their lifestyle. And that's important, right? That we make this part of our lifestyle. If you want to get major results in your life, with any facet of your life, you have to look to make it part of your lifestyle. And it's got to be something you see yourself doing for the foreseeable future, right? And that's what I see in the fitness industry. For 10 plus years, guys, I've been in the industry and I've seen so many people get outstanding results in the fitness industry. I've seen so many people come in with, very low self-esteem. They start to work out, they start to lose weight, they start to get in shape. Their goal was never initially to lose a certain amount, but just to start moving. And they're generally the ones who get the best results and become the most successful because, 5, 6 years later, 10 years later, they're the ones who are still working out. Now, the people who generally scare me are the ones who only want to lose 20 pounds. They only want to lose 30 pounds. That's their goal. So when we go through this little training and I give you more information, you're going to begin to see that it's really a habit change what we're looking to do. We're not looking to set major goals. And that's why the title of this seminar is actually The Power of Habits, because it is so, so powerful and it is so, so profound. Now, if the question is, if I only have to change my habits, then why is it so difficult? Well, the reason it's so difficult to change your habits is because many of these habits have been formed since you're a child. Chances are you have actually taken on habits of your parents and maybe their parents, because it could be a generational thing also, right? Where certain habits were never broken and they were just compounded and compounded. And now you have those habits, but it's not all over. You can definitely break them, but it takes a little bit of time. Okay, but many of the habits have been formed since you're a child. So I want you to be aware of that. How your parents spoke when you were a kid, if they spoke with positivity, if they spoke negatively, if they spoke with optimism, that's probably the type of person you are right now, okay? If they ate poorly 4, 5, 6 times a week, ate out, that's probably some of the things that you're doing right now. Am I right? I bet I am. Now, if they ate healthy 4, 5, 6 times a week and maybe ate out once a week, that's probably something you're doing as well. Maybe you've got an extra day in there, but generally you're eating at home and you're making homemade meals, and it's just part of the culture where you were brought up, and that was the culture that was set inside your house by your parents. Now, to break these habits, it's not an overnight thing. So I want you to remember that breaking habits, creating new habits is not an overnight thing. It's not an overnight success, but it definitely is something that you can work on day by day to get better, day by day to get improvements on. You just have to make the commitment to yourself, and it does not have to be a big commitment. There does not have to be a distinct timeline, but only the will to want to get better every single day. So I want you to think of this, okay? If you were to only get 1% better every single day for the next year, all right, or every month for the next year, every day for next year, whatever, you'd actually be 37.5 times better than what you are currently right now. You'd have an improvement rate of 37.5 times more. And that's outstanding, right? And the reason it's that is because nothing is a straight line. There's bell curves, and there's lots of curves and stuff that are in there where you'll kind of plateau. You might go backwards a little bit, but then you'll start going back up too. But imagine that. Imagine this time next year being 37 times better than what you are right now, 37 times more ahead than what you currently are right now, or closer to the person you want to be. It's amazing. It's such an amazing opportunity. And even just with these small little tweaks, you can make this happen. Now, I want you to also imagine if you do nothing, if you don't take any action and you don't try to make yourself better in the next year, what's going to happen? Guess where you're going to be? You are going to be exactly in the same situation that you are right now. You're going to be in the same place that you are right now, or you might even be in a worse place than what you are right now. So if you want to get better, I suggest the next couple of pieces of information that I give you, you take them extremely seriously and you take action on how to create an amazing habit regime that works for you. But first, we have to break down how a habit is first created, right? So let's talk about the habit loop. You can write this down, habit loop. Then you can draw a line down the center of your page, and then you can draw a line across your page like this. In the top left-hand corner of that little square that you drew right there, write number 1. On the right-hand side, write number 2. Below it, write number 3. And back over in the bottom left-hand corner, I want you to write number 4. So generally what happens when we have a food craving? What happens? We get a cue, right? So generally the first thing that happens when we want something is we get a cue. We get a cue from our brain, right? Then we get the craving of a certain type of food. So let's just say sugar, for instance, right? So the first thing is the signal from our brain or our stomach, hey, I'm hungry. Okay, great. The next one is the cue, all right, for the type of food that we want to have. Sugar, a certain pizza, whatever it is, right? Then there's the response. What is the response? This is probably the most important thing. So on the top left, I want you to write cue. Then I want you to write craving across from it in number 2. Below it, I want you to write response. And then on the bottom left, I want you to write reward. And these are the 4 stages of a habit loop. Now, the cue, we're getting a signal from our brain or we're getting a signal from our stomach, right? Then we have the craving, the type of food that we crave or that we want. Then the response. How do we react to that? Do we give in? Or do we say no? So the reward is the 4th one, and that's in the bottom left-hand corner. So the cue is what the signal we're hungry, all right? Then the craving, what we're craving. Then we have the response, how we respond to it. Do we run? Do we savage the fridge? Do we pull everything out of the pantry and just start eating it? And then the reward is what we actually have, right? That's the actual what we actually have. Now, here is a way that I found amazing to help break down habits. Because remember at the very start, what I said was habits are not going to be broken down overnight. Okay, this is not an overnight gig. This is something that is going to take time. This is going to take some persistence, and this is going to take you having some willpower as well at the same time. So what I want you to do underneath that square that you just drew right there, what I want you to do, I want you to write, if this dash, then that. And this is going to be something that works amazing for you, and it's going to help you break down your habits that you currently have, and it's going to help you replace them with better ones. And it's so simple, but write it down for me. If this, then that. Okay, so when you write that, so let's say, for instance, your craving in the morning is to have coffee. All right, let's just say it's to have coffee first thing in the morning. That's something you do. It's a ritual right now. So you don't drink water first. The first thing you do is you drink coffee, right? You wake up, coffee pot's already brewed because you have a timer set on it or whatever, and you go over and you slam down a cup of coffee. Well, if you are someone you're working with a coach, and your coach said, hey, you need to drink more water, and you're accustomed to drinking coffee first thing in the morning instead of drinking water, well, then what you would do is you go, okay, you can have all these, little bottles of water in your house. Say, okay, if I drink this, then I can have that. So what you're doing is you're saying, yeah, I can still have that reward. I can still have my coffee, but I have to have this before it. Now, let's say it comes to dinner time and you want to have pizza. Okay, you can have the pizza. So if I eat this salad first with 5 different colored vegetables, that's a rule here at Fit in 42. You have 5 different colored vegetables. Then I can have a slice of pizza. So if I eat this salad with 5 different colored vegetables, then I can have this pizza. And it's not going to immediately help you break your habits, but over time, it's going to help you make better choices. And now you can add more things to if this, okay? So you could say, okay, if I have this salad with this 4 ounces or 6 ounces or 8 ounces of chicken, whatever your portion size is, then I can have this sliced pizza. Guess what? You're going to fill up on the salad and the chicken. And by the time it comes to the pizza, you might get a slice in, you might only get half a slice in. But over time, you can add more good stuff to if this, then that. And you eat less of that, or you have less of the that and more of the this. And over time, what's going to happen is you are going to start turning the wheels, and it's not going to seem like it's a struggle. It's not going to seem like it's painful. Instead, it's going to seem like it's your decision to do it. And it really is, right? It's your decision to make this decision. So it makes it almost just, it's so streamlined. It's so easy to do it. All right. At the start, you might find that you have a couple of difficult days, but if you remember, if this, then that, and you have to put it in front of something that you know you want to change. All right. So for instance, give me another example. Maybe it's playing a game on your phone, but you're a business professional, you're in sales, and you know you need to make a certain amount of calls. Well, if I make these 25 calls, then I can have that game, right? If I make these 25 calls, then I can have that game, or then I can play that game. So you can use it any way you want. And I think this is extremely powerful. So play around with it. Write a couple of things that you know you need to change. Might even be working out, right? It might be like, okay, if I go to the gym, or if I go to the gym today, when I come home, I can sit and I can watch TV for an hour. Okay. But before, maybe you were just going right home, you're missing the gym and you're just watching TV for 4 hours. So if this, then that. If I go to the gym, then I can watch TV for an hour or 2 hours or whatever, right? All right, so the next thing I want you to do is I want you to take some notes here for me. All right, how to create a good habit. I'm actually reading from a list here this time, okay, because this is a lot to remember. So how do you create a good habit? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to create I will behaviors, okay? So you need to create behaviors where you're saying, I will do this. Instead of, I want to do this, I will do this. So language is everything when we're trying to create a habit. We must make things obvious, and we must set times, we must set dates, we must set locations. So the first thing you need to do, the first law of making a habit is make it obvious. Write that down. Make it obvious. So if, for instance, if you know you need to read, or you want to become a reader, well, then maybe you put a book somewhere where you're going to see it first thing in the morning. That might be right at the dinner table. That might be right on your favorite chair where you like to sit and read first thing in the morning. It's there. It's ready. The bookmark's in it. Everything is set for what you need to do. The second law is make it attractive. So maybe put it on that lazy boy chair is attractive for you to sit on. It's comfortable, right? Or maybe it's outside in the patio, and it's just a beautiful area. You love to sit there in the morning. The birds are chirping, the sun comes down, and it's just your place. It's quiet, it's cool. The third thing is make it easy. So make it easy to get to. Make it easy to do. Okay, and that might be, making it easy could be making it easy to get to. So it's not difficult to actually get there. It's not difficult to find that area, to find that time to do it in, right? You're not trying to do it in between dinner and bedtime, because that could be a crazy time in a lot of people's houses. That first thing in the morning might be making it easy for you to do it. It might be lunchtime is that easy time for you to do it because you don't have any interruptions. You can turn your phone off for the hour and you can just go at it. Make it satisfying. So make it so you enjoy it. Make it so that you actually enjoy what you're doing. And that's important too. And that might be an area where you like to sit. It could be right down there in El Paseo. It could be up at the top at 74. Make it enjoyable, make it satisfying, make it something that you can see yourself doing consistently. All right, now how do we break a bad habit? Because that's important too, right? We can't just make good habits and stack them on top of our bad habits. We got to break those bad habits down. So the first thing we can do, and I've actually seen a girl do something really cool, I'll tell you about it in a couple of seconds, is make it invisible. So for instance, if something like cereal is a trigger for you, maybe you want to make that cereal invisible. Maybe you don't want it in your pantry. Maybe you don't want it in your house at all. Maybe it's chips, maybe it's chocolate, whatever it is. Make it invisible. Don't buy it in the groceries. Don't bring it into your house, because once you bring it into your house, you're exposing yourself to it. And you may think that you're strong enough, and you may think that you have the willpower, because at certain times we're filled with motivation, we're filled with determination. But as soon as we have a downturn, guess where you're going to go? You're going to go to that pantry. You're going to go to the refrigerator, and you're going to grab the things that you said you were not going to eat or drink, and you're going to lower your self-esteem and lower your confidence because you gave into yourself. And I don't want you to do that. Do not give into yourself. You are stronger and you are better than this. So don't even buy it. Don't put it in the way. Don't be able to see it. The second thing to do is make it unattractive. So this is the story I want to tell you about the girl. So she actually did have cereal in her house. I assume she has kids and they ate cereal. But what she did was she cut out a poop emoji and she put it on the cereal box. Maybe her kids found that funny. But for her, seeing that, that was unattractive. So she, as a quick reminder, I don't want to eat that. That's not good for my body, right? The next thing to do is make it unsatisfying. So, for instance, what you could do, make it unsatisfying, is get a partner in crime. Okay, get someone to commit to something with you, and use your integrity as part of this commitment, right? So, making it unsatisfying is maybe if she ate that cereal, or if somebody, maybe one of you ate a piece of chocolate or had a drink, you could, I don't know, donate $100 to charity, or donate $500 to charity, because it really pinches, right? And if you do it and and then you lie to your friend as well and say you didn't do it, now you kind of got a double lie. So you're living this life of lies. You don't want to live that. There's too much anxiety around it. But make it so unsatisfying that it hurts you. Make it so unsatisfying that it's not something that you want to do. And I really feel, if you follow these laws, breaking a bad habit, make it, or make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult. So make it actually difficult to even get to, and then make it unsatisfying. You're really going to start seeing results. You're going to start seeing major, major results in your life, but you got to do it, right? So think of five things in your life right now that you know that are not serving you to become the person you want to be, okay? So if it's lose 20 pounds, what's that person doing every day who loses 20 pounds, but after the 20 pounds, they consistently lose weight and they're consistently energetic and they're like, who is that person? Who do I want to become? Because that's really who we should be modeling, right? So we're trying to embody somebody who loses 20 pounds and keeps it off and consistently working out for 5, 6, 10 years. And you see that friend who's always working out and they're always in shape and they're always happy and energetic. What are the things that they're doing? How can I embody that person? And then look at the habits that you need to remove from your life. Okay, always use the if this, then that to begin with. And then start adding in the other how to break the bad habits, right? Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, make it unsatisfying. Make it something that is so unsatisfying that it would literally almost sting you to your core if you were to have some of it. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed this seminar. I love doing these seminars. I love your feedback on this seminar too. If you could comment below on our YouTube channel, if you could comment below on our social media channels, if you have a friend who needs to hear this, if you've got a family member who needs to hear this, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your wife, have them watch it, have them reach out to me if they need any more help. And then tag us on Instagram at Fit42 Coachella Valley, and then tag me at Jason Organ Fitness on Instagram also. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. And I can't wait until I reach you with my next seminar. Have an amazing day and have an amazing evening.